You are sitting in a movie theater. The film is not even sad. A dog runs across a field, a child laughs, and yet something tightens in your throat. Your eyes fill. You blink fast, hoping no one notices. But it is already happening. The tears are coming, and there is nothing you can do to stop them. If that sounds familiar, you already know what it feels like to be wired differently. Not broken, not weak. Differently. Most people think crying is an emotion, but that gets it backwards. Crying is a biological release mechanism triggered when your nervous system crosses a threshold it cannot manage any other way. Think of it like a pressure valve. When emotional or sensory input exceeds what your system can process quietly, the valve opens, tears come out, the pressure drops. The question is not why people cry. The question is where that threshold sits. And in some people, it sits far lower than in others. In the 1980s, biochemist William Frey at the Ramsey Medical Center in Minnesota discovered that emotional tears are chemically different from tears caused by irritants. They contain stress hormones, specifically adrenocorticotropic hormone and leucine enkephalin, the very chemicals your body produces under physiological load. When you cry, your body is literally expelling stress. Frey proposed that emotional crying evolved as a biochemical stress relief mechanism, not a weakness, a release valve embedded in your biology by millions of years of evolution. But that still does not explain why some people's valves open more easily. For that, you have to go into the nervous system itself. Some people are wired with what neuroscientists call high autonomic reactivity. Their nervous systems respond faster and more intensely to stimuli. A piece of music hits them like a wave. A stranger's grief lands in their chest like it is their own. A kind word from someone they respect puts a lump in their throat before they even know they are moved. This is not a choice. It is the baseline sensitivity of their nervous system, and it is largely determined before they are born. In 1996, psychologist Elaine Aron at Stony Brook University published landmark research on what she called the highly sensitive person. Her studies found that roughly 15 to 20% of the population is born with a nervous system that processes emotional and sensory information significantly more deeply than average. These individuals do not just react more, they feel more of what is actually there to be felt. Brain imaging has since confirmed that highly sensitive people show greater activation in areas associated with empathy and emotional processing when exposed to the exact same stimuli as less sensitive people. More of the brain is engaged, more meaning is extracted, more is felt. And here is the counterintuitive part. This is not a disadvantage evolution left behind. Biologist David Sloan Wilson at Binghamton University found this trait across dozens of species: fruit flies, fish, birds. In virtually every social species studied, a minority of individuals are wired to be highly sensitive. Wilson argues this is a biological division of labor. Most members of the group are built for quick, decisive action. A smaller group is built for deep monitoring, early threat detection, and nuanced social reading. The group needs both. Evolution kept both types in the population because both types keep the group alive. So when you cry easily, your nervous system is not failing you. It is performing the function it was designed to perform. It is reading the emotional environment more completely than most people can. And when that input crosses the threshold, it cannot silently process, it releases. But there is one more layer. Not all easy crying is rooted in sensitivity. Psychologist Jonathan Rottenberg at the University of South Florida has spent years studying how crying functions in emotional regulation. His research distinguishes between crying that feels relieving, lighter, calmer, clearer afterward, and crying that feels uncontrollable and distressing. The first is a well-functioning pressure valve. The second is a warning light, often signaling that the emotional regulation system is overwhelmed by depression, chronic stress, or unprocessed grief. The difference matters. Knowing which one you are experiencing is the beginning of actually understanding yourself. Not the story you were told about yourself, not the version shaped by everyone who told you to pull yourself together or called you too sensitive as if that were an insult. Your tears are not evidence of weakness, they are evidence of depth. They are the overflow of a system that takes in more than most systems can hold, processes it more completely than most systems bother to, and releases what it cannot carry silently. So tonight, when something moves you and your eyes fill before you can stop them, you will know what is actually happening. Your nervous system is not breaking down. It is doing exactly what it was built to do, the same thing it has always been doing, all your life, without you ever knowing why. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. It helps a lot.